refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running. Toes they gonna take it.
This is what we got to tell.
I've been doing this.
I felt it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What is going on, R2L family? How y'all doing today, man? As y'all can see, we have none other than Mr. CTC himself, or as I like to say, CKC, Cardinals College. What's going on, Carl? How you doing today, my guy?
I'm good, man. Had a Merry Christmas. I know a fan base that didn't. Let's go. I'm ready to go.
Man, we got some topics to talk about today. Speaking of Christmas, we hear a lot of talks about how Christmas Day is supposed to be the NBA's day, but last 2 years seem like it's been a little different. Like the NFL has taken over, and we're going to talk about those ratings between those two today. We had some breaking news today. Mike Brown, crazily, just got fired by the Sacramento Kings. So Kings now have a new interim head coach, Doug Christie, who used to play for them. So we're going to talk about that today. And whether you want to say fortunately or unfortunately, we have a game to talk about that happened last night between the Bears and the Seahawks that ended 6-3. And also, I'm pretty sure y'all want to talk about who is now leading the MVP race in the NFL, because there's been a lot of talk about Josh Allen, leading it without, having to give anything up. Lamar Jackson has another great game. Saquon Barkley, he was in the conversation, but now it seems like it's just between those two guys, so we got to talk about that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We are live right now on YouTube and X. Been having some issues with Facebook, so we're not gonna worry about that right now. But we have those topics and a little bit more. Like Jimmy Butler, we got news about him possibly being moved, and Pat Riley saying no. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna have some fun today. We got some really great topics to talk about. And Joe's going to come in on the end to talk about that Kings, because he is a Kings fan, so he got to talk about him now having a new head coach. And I don't know, that may have something to do with Fox possibly staying there. But, when we get to that topic, we'll talk about it. It's Friday now. Everyone had already celebrated Christmas. New Year's is around the corner. What we always say is, let's have fun. And let's turn up.
Turn me up, 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 up.
Other than that, let's start the show. So, as I said, fortunately or unfortunately, we have to talk about that game that happened last night between the Bears and the Seahawks on Prime. And Carl, man, we both were in the back saying there's not really much to say about this game. The only thing that happened that was, I guess, kind of record-breaking, kind of sort of, or close to record-breaking, was Caleb Williams is now the second most sacked rookie in NFL history with 60. He has been sacked 67 times in the season this year. But all the points were scored in the first half. It was all field goals, and it was punt, 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 punt. And then to end the game, Caleb Williams, who didn't throw an interception in his last 350 attempts, threw an interception to end the game, and that's how we go. So, Carl, I'm going to go to you first. What was your reaction to this game?
It sucked. Plain and simple. This game sucked. I remember that last night my dad texted me, "Yo, game time, boys." I said, "Man, these bowl games probably better than this NFL game." And sure enough, the
It
bowl games
was.
were better than them NFL games. But let's talk about the Seahawks for just a second. We all know the Bears have a really good passing defense, terrible run defense. Now, what if I told you that Zach Charbonnet started the first quarter, first drive, I had 20 plus yards? You will say, "Dang, he on his way to 100 against this run defense." What if I told you he finished the game with 15 carries for 57 yards? You're like, what is Seattle doing? And that's it. It's just Seattle being Seattle. They just refuse to run the football. I don't know what it is. You would think against the Bears, all right, coaching game plan, let's run the ball more. Bad run defense, good passing defense. Geno, especially in the goal line, Geno kind of throws interceptions. No, we don't. Get to the goal line, not goal line, get to the red zone. Geno Smith should have thrown the interception, dropped by two linebackers, Terrell Edmonds and TJ Edwards. Don't run the ball, stall out, kick field goal. I believe they kick a field goal before half ends to go up 6-3. But yeah, this game was just flat out boring, flat out sucked. The Seahawks, if they do somehow make the playoffs, probably one and done. Bears, season's been over. Helmets to the left, shoulder pads to the right. We need to focus on the draft the next year. But yeah, I don't got too much to say, man. This game was absolutely terrible. And the Seahawks should be ashamed of themselves for the game plan they had going into this one.
Yeah. The Seahawks could have easily won this game in blowout fashion if they just ran the ball. If they just ran the ball and not have to worry about throwing it up to DK all the time and just putting it in Geno's hands. Geno has proven that you don't want to put the game in his hands all the time, and you don't want him throwing the ball 30, 35, 40 plus times. That's not the game plan for you to win when it comes to Geno Smith. And the run game, whether it's Charbonnet or Kenneth Walker, has always been successful. But the Seahawks just for some reason don't run the ball. I just don't understand it. And for Caleb Williams and the Bears, man, I mean, he spoke about it after the game. And he was saying, man, it sucks, but it's a learning curve for me. It's a lesson that I'm going to learn. My thing is, what are the Bears going to do to surround this guy with a better offensive line? That's what he needs. He needs an offensive line that protects him. There were times in that game where he had some time to throw the ball, but like I said, he now is the second most sacked rookie quarterback in NFL history. The only other one is David Carr, who got sacked 76 times in his rookie season. But to be sacked 67 times in your rookie season is a lot. And, you know, he went into the season telling his punter that he don't have to worry about punting the ball that much. And that's all you saw yesterday was punt. It seemed like they were having a punt battle all the entire game, whether it was the Seahawks or the Bears. The team just couldn't get much movement. There was too much throwing the ball. There wasn't enough balance for the Seahawks. And even though Caleb made some good throws on third and fourth down to convert some plays, there were times where he just got himself into sacks as well. So that's another learning curve for him. He still seems to act like he's at USC or Oklahoma the way he plays quarterback, and him, you know, running back and going all the way back in the field to try to turn around and throw the ball downfield. That's not going to work that much in the NFL. So I hope what they do is they give him a coach that's going to help him out next year, whether it's Ben Johnson or whoever they put in the helm for Chicago next year, and draft some offensive linemen. Please draft some offensive linemen and get some better front seven to help him well with this run defense. Because their corners are good. We know what they got with Jalen Johnson and Tariq Stevenson. They got some good guys that's back there. And they need to be able to defend the run and to protect the pass. So if they're able to do that, because DeAndre Swift is not a bad running back, so if you continue to protect the offensive line, because he has the weapons. He got Roman Dunze, he got Keenan Allen, he got DJ Moore, he got the weapons. We just gotta protect him.
I ain't got too much to say about this game.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm almost certain you got a lot to say about this one right here. There was a game on Christmas, 2 NFL games. We're going to talk about the first one right now with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs, where the Kansas City Chiefs won that game 29-10. And, you know, the Chiefs almost got their first 30-point game this season, but that did not happen. They ended up causing some turnovers in that game late. But there was some harsh criticism that was said by two players on that team. Defensive leader Cam Hayward and Deshaun Elliott had some choice words for their team. This was said by Cam Hayward. He said the last 3 weeks we played like SHIT. Simple as that. I own that. Every player's got to own that. Can't squander opportunities, whether it's turnovers, whether it's getting off the field, whether it's scoring touchdown. It's a multitude of things, and it has reared its big head. My confidence is never going to lack in the group. It's just from an execution standpoint. It's just dumbfounded. We have to get it done on those plays. We set up in meetings. We take it out on the field. That means nothing if you don't do it in the game. And then Deshaun Elliott also said they've made adjustments when they should have. We did not. Guys can't be wide open. That's the first thing. Do your job. It's week 18. We shouldn't be having these problems in week 18. That's a week 1 or week 2 problem. I know. I'm gonna go first on this one. Now, was this harsh or fair? It's fair. It's fair. That's their team. They're the guys on the defense. They know what we've been hearing that this is a Super Bowl caliber defense. We've heard that. We've heard that on NFL Network. You heard it on ESPN. We heard it in our own chats. So if you're supposed to be an MVP type Super Bowl caliber defense, then you got to play like that against Super Bowl caliber teams. And you look in the last 3 weeks, they played against 3 Super Bowl caliber teams. They played against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Kansas City Chiefs. And in each game, they allowed 20 plus points in each game, 27 plus to be exact, but 27 plus points in each game. They allowed 27 points to the Eagles, allowed 34 to the Ravens, and then 29 to the Chiefs. And it seems
I'm going to stop you real quick because I already know if the Steelers fan listening, we threw a pick 6. We'll say 27 just to make you feel better.
Okay. 27. It's still 27 plus, like I said. So you give up all of those points on defense, whether it's special teams included or your offense giving the points. The thing is, the team gave up those amount of points when you're supposed to be a Super Bowl caliber defense. But it doesn't seem like it really is a Super Bowl caliber defense. I mean, you have TJ Watt. We know you got Cam Hayward. We know what you're supposed to have with Patrick Queen and Minka Fitzpatrick and Joey Porter Jr. But it doesn't seem like they're playing like that right now. And they're playing against the big boys right now. And it's the big boys in the NFL. How is this team going to look if they play against the Bills? How is the team going to look if they play, these other upper echelon teams in the NFL? How would they look against the Lions if they were to reach the Super Bowl? Like, how would that look? And honestly, I think it's going to look like how it does now until they prove otherwise. They have another game to play in the last week of the season, but they got to go out there and win it because that's not going to be a easy game for them to win either. Because the Bengals can definitely put up a lot of points. We know what they're capable of. They lost games by, giving up a lot of points, but they put up a lot of points as well. Carl, what you think about these comments?
Fair. It's fair. Come on, man. This is a defense that's starting to look like they live and die off turnovers. And you can't be that type of defense. That's not a Super Bowl caliber defense because there's going to be games where you're not forcing turnovers. You're going to have to get stops. And if you're giving up daggone near 30 balls, that means you're not getting enough stops. And then, quiet as kept. We put up 34. We won the game. I'm going to just talk about it real quick. Nobody seems to complain when the other team is giving away unforced errors when you're the Steelers. When you're getting unforced errors, nobody's complaining. But when you're not getting those turnovers, now it exposes your defense. It exposes it. Now you can say Joey Porter got hurt. They weren't running things to where Joey Porter would make too much of a difference. Joey Porter, the things they were kind of running were short throws to get players in space, and you would have to make a tackle, and they weren't making tackles. They were running things to Xavier Worthy to get them in space, Hollywood Brown to get them in space. Now, granted, Hollywood Brown did not catch that football, but, hey, man, Eagles get away with it too. So they were just running things to get players in open space and exposing that defense, and they did. Now, I would like to say this as well. Yes, we put up 34, 27 if you want to be technical. Yes, the Eagles put up 27. And yes, the Chiefs put up 29, but it's how they're doing it. Saquon had a pretty good game on the ground. But Jalen Hurts really took over that game. Let's be fair. Jalen Hurts dealt that game. Derrick Henry, monster game. Lamar Jackson, really good game. And then the Chiefs, they just couldn't be stopped. This just is what it is. They first two possessions, they went down and scored. The Steelers kind of controlled it. They didn't allow them to sustain drives until halftime, but second half took right back off. Also, I lost my train of thought. I was about to bring up one more thing about the Steelers. I'm so sick I forgot my train of thought. It was one more. Oh, another thing a Steelers fan might lead you to believe. Oh, we're just not getting fumbles. We're not recovering fumbles. Oh, but when Russell Wilson fumbled and got his own fumble back, you don't hear him crying about that. And that was unforced. Things happen. So, I mean, it's the game. Okay, so what you didn't recover the fumble? Play defense. All right, cool. You ain't get it. Stop me from scoring. Bottom line. But, yeah, man, the Steelers, man, it is a cause of concern because, again, if they're not creating turnovers, they're allowing a large amount of points. So if defense is your calling card, you got to figure that out.
Yeah, because we can't, like you said, can't call this a Super Bowl caliber defense and you're giving up points like this. And it's the fashion that's going in, whether it's in the first half or giving up a lot of points in the fourth quarter. You can't do that, especially in clutch time. In clutch time, that's when you're supposed to play your best. You know, I know that for sure because, you know, my team who's eliminated in the playoffs, the question about our defense has been giving up points in the second half. And that's the worst time to do it, especially in the fourth quarter. You can't have double-digit leads and then squander it in the fourth quarter. That's a cause for concern. That's not winning football. That's not championship football. You're not going to win games that way. You're not going to be able to win playoff games. You for sure are not going to be able to reach the Super Bowl if your defense is giving up stuff like that. Now the offense was it was somewhat moving the ball a little bit, but you know, times where you were moving the ball, you pass the ball to your tight end, and he fumbles, give the momentum right back to the Chiefs. And then Russ, you know, throws an interception. You know, there's just certain things you can't do in games like this, especially when you're in position to win the division if you win that game. So not only are you not in the lead in your division, you have an opportunity to lose it now because you have to win that game. You have to win that last game against the Bengals, and you got to hope that the Steelers lose their last game, that the Ravens lose their last game. So it's because the tiebreaker is not there anymore.
And that is a good question, Tony, because I've heard also Patrick Quinn talk about guys having to do their job. So it's like 3 players I know of talking about people not doing their job. Who's the other 8 y'all referring to? I want to know. I do want to know the other 8. So that is a good question. But, yeah, it's definitely a cause of concern, man. Because a lot of people, beginning of the year, that's like the Minnesota Vikings defense is gimmicky. They just live off turnovers. They didn't think that was a Super Bowl caliber defense. No, and now it's looking like the Steelers is the same thing. So are y'all going to keep the same energy for the Steelers? Y'all going to call that defense gimmicky? Y'all going to say it's not Super Bowl caliber? Or y'all going to say it's the Steelers, so it's different?
Remember it was a year or two ago with the Cowboys when they was causing all those turnovers. It was like, well, that's pretty much the same thing. It's gimmicky. If you ain't causing turnovers, you ain't gonna win no games. And that's the thing. If you live and die with turnovers, you better make sure you get them, or it's not gonna go your way. Plain and simple. Now, I'm pretty sure you couldn't wait to hear about this topic. I'm pretty sure you couldn't wait to talk about this. Your guy, Jack, Lamar Jackson, has another phenomenal game and also breaks the record for most rushing yards in the NFL career for a quarterback, passing Michael Vick in 40 less games. I think it was 42 or 41 to be exact, but 40 less games than Michael Vick. You hear talks about Josh Allen being the MVP, but you've been saying this yourself. If Lamar Jackson is able to win that division and be the 3rd seed, he has a lot to say about that because he got better stats. He has more touchdowns, more passing touchdowns, less interceptions, more total yards, completion percentage.
Won the head-to-head.
Won the head-to-head in blowout fashion. Carl, is Josh Allen the MVP or is it Lamar's MV3 to lose?
It's Lamar's MV3 to lose. The only reason I was going to say Josh Allen was MVP was because he had the division and Lamar was not in first place in his division. But guess what? Like what I said happened. That's why my name is Told You. Can I bring it? You can't bring it up. But my name is Told You for a reason. I told y'all the Steelers was going to choke the division. We was going to be right there to catch it. And we're in first place. And so now what? We're the third seed. You can't say he's not winning enough. We're the third seed. They're the second seed. They got 2 more wins. Cool. But we got the head-to-head over them. The only thing that they have over us is that they beat the Chiefs, which, I mean, they do that in the regular season. Don't do it in the postseason. Big whoop. Now, also, like you said, Lamar is leading. He's top 5 in passing yards. Josh Allen is 10th. Now, in passing touchdowns, Lamar Jackson is second with 39. He's tied first, but Joe Burrow is going to pass him because Joe Burrow, he got an extra game on Joe Burrow. Tied first with 39. Josh Allen is tied 6th with 26. Interceptions, Lamar Jackson only has 4. Josh Allen, I believe he has more.
6.
Yeah, 6. Cool. Yes, picks, not an arm punt. He has 6 picks. So Lamar Jackson's beating him there. Lamar Jackson, and the crazy thing with Lamar is a lot of people saying, well, Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. Josh Allen has never thrown for 37. He's only thrown for 37 touchdowns once, right? Lamar, I'm pretty sure is going to get 40. That's insane. When you mix that with 4,000 yards and I don't think he's going to get 1,000. I don't think we're going to play him enough to get 1,000. But let's just mix in 900 rushing yards. That's still crazy to have 900 rushing yards, 4,000 passing yards, and 40 passing touchdowns. And here's the one point I hate that people bring up. Oh, he got Derrick Henry. Josh Allen don't got a Derrick Henry. Who's leading the league in running back touchdowns? James Cook. James Cook is leading the league in running back touchdowns with 14. So there's that. Then secondly, well, he ain't got the yards like Derrick Henry. James Cook is 15th in rushing yards while being 22nd in rushing attempts. So that means he's making the most out of his attempts. So, yes, Derrick Henry is, second in rushing yards by being like first or second in rushing attempts. But if you give James Cook those same carries, it seems he'll be up there with a Derrick Henry as well. Now, I'm not saying James Cook is better than Derrick Henry. No, I am not. But people love to say, well, he got a running back. He could just lean on Derrick Henry. Against that Patriots game, against the Patriots last week, who broke a long run and scored a touchdown to start the scoring for the Buffalo Bills? I believe it was James Cook. Who scored the second touchdown to tie the game? I believe it was James Cook. I think James Cook
who beat us this year? It was James Cook. James Cook tore us on the ground in that game in the snow.
So the fact that people don't acknowledge how great James Cook has been to this team to try to slight Lamar Jackson is crazy. And I seen another point on Twitter, right? This point I seen on Twitter. That part I made up myself. But I saw this part on Twitter, and I thought this was hilarious. Somebody said that people have won an MVP with Randy Moss, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams twice, but Derrick Henry is where we draw the line. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how people can have Hall of Fame talent, but when Lamar Jackson get a running back, now all of a sudden that's where we draw the line. It's not like Lamar Jackson never had a running game. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have always been top in running. We might not be first right this year. I think we're behind the Eagles. I think we're second. But we've always been first or at least top 5 in rushing. Derrick Henry didn't do nothing but amplify it. Yes, Derrick Henry is key. But, bro, Derrick Henry ain't the end-all, be-all. So, knock it off, bro. Y'all acting like these quarterbacks go win MVP by themselves. No, they have help in winning these MVPs. It's just I hope happen to be a running back instead of a receiver like most of these guys. And my last point is for how great of a season Lamar is having. Again, Josh Allen has had better help and never had this type of passing production outside of maybe yardage that Lamar Jackson is having. He hasn't had 40 passing touchdowns. He's never once led the league in touchdown passes before like Lamar has on his first MVP. He might have got him in yards, but that's about it. So, knock it off. Oh, last point is, as much as I love the record he broke with Mike Vick, we can't use that in the MVP because
no. I'm just saying that's a great.
No,
thing
but I see people using that as an MVP case. We can't use that as the MVP case because that's not a season thing. That's a career thing. So we can't use him breaking Vick's record this year as his MVP case because that's over his career. That's not over this season. Now, if he broke something this season, cool, we can use it. Which he's broke plenty of things. Let's not talk about the QB rating thing where he's like top 4 in QB rating for a season. He might be second in QB rating for a season ever. Like, let's not talk about that as well. Let's not talk about he has 2, 3 perfect rating games this year, if I'm not mistaken. The Jackson 5s he had. Man, hey man, Lamar's MVP in my opinion, hands down. If he wins Sunday and wins the division, the only knock you will have on Lamar is if he doesn't win the division Sunday by choking and losing to the Browns. That's the only way he don't win his MVP.
I gotta agree with you. For a while, I mean, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, it just looked like Lamar Jackson was on a mission, not to win the MVP, but on a mission to get this division back. And that's where they are right now. They right now are leading the division. Was about a half game or about a game right now?
No, we about a whole game.
Yeah, about a whole. Oh yes, because y'all both played on Christmas, so yeah, it's a whole game. So, but I do have something that will help him for this season. You know, Lamar Jackson has the second best pass rating in a single season in NFL history right now.
Yeah, just said that.
The only person that's above him is Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And the person behind him is also Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. He's having the best year of his career right now. Career best in total yards, career best in total touchdowns, career best with 4 interceptions, career best in completion percentage. It's basically 68% completion percentage. He's balling right now. 4,800 total yards. That's almost 5,000 total yards by himself. That's crazy. Career touchdowns, total touchdowns is 43. Lamar Jackson is that great of a weapon, but he only has 4 rushing touchdowns this season. Only. And that's crazy when it comes to Lamar, because we know he'll have like 6 or 7, maybe 8, but only 4 this season and 39 passing touchdowns. That's another career thing. 39 passing. He's about to have, like you said, he's about to have 40. He's about to have 40 passing touchdowns and over 4,000 passing yards. First time in his career, he's going to go over 4,000 passing yards. And what has everyone always been saying about Lamar? Can he throw over 4,000 yards? Can he do this? Can he do that? Well, he seems like he's doing all of that this season. And that's without, let's say that Zay Flowers is his number 1 wide receiver.
He is.
Is he Tyreek Hill? No.
No.
Is he Justin Jefferson? No. Is he Jamar Chase? No. Is he AJ Brown? No. There's
Stephon Diggs.
No. There's so many other receivers you can go down the list and say who he is, and he won't check that box. Now, that's not to say that Zay Flowers is not a really good receiver. Rashad Bateman has had a good season this year as well. So he has that. He got Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. So he got some guys out there that can make plays for him. But it's not your George Kittles. It's not your Travis Kelce's. It's not those guys.
You're not about to slander my dog, Mark.
I'm not slandering
Mark
Andrews.
With him. He right there with him.
I'm not slandering him. I'm just saying that those two have always been clearly the best 2 in the league, is what I'm saying.
And he been right there at number 3. I feel you. Just gotta get that straight.
Hey, I'm not downing your guy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying compared to what these other quarterbacks have and what these other guys have. And then I heard an argument about Josh Allen for this season, saying that he hasn't turned the ball over that much. He beat Patrick Mahomes head to head. I mean, that's not the first time he beat Patrick Mahomes head to head in a regular season. We've seen that. He can't do it in the playoffs. That's when it matters the most. And then if you look at, they try to talk about, well, he didn't have a dynamic wide receiver. Where they did go and trade for Amari Cooper. Is it their fault that Amari Cooper's
why they went and traded for Amari Cooper?
They traded away Stephon Diggs. They traded him to the Texans.
That's not the reason why. The reason why they went and traded for Amari Cooper is because he had 2 of his worst games ever against the Ravens and the Texans. Literally had a historically bad game against the Texans and said, "Oh man, we need to get somebody else from him," and went and got Amari Cooper.
Yep, and then he had Keon Coleman. Then his run game has been really good this season. I mean, along with him being able to run the ball, but James Cook, like you said, he's up there in touchdowns. So he's with only being 22nd in attempts. So he has help as well. And let's talk about Lamar Jackson's defense. It's improved over the last 5 weeks, but what was it before? It was one of the worst defenses in the league, especially in passing. And all of that has changed. And Lamar Jackson, with or without Derrick Henry, has been dynamic this season. Now, Derrick Henry has helped. Don't get me wrong. We know how great Derrick Henry is, but Derrick Henry last year wasn't in this conversation because Derrick Henry did not have a great season last year. And This year he has had a better season, yes, but Lamar Jackson is the best player on this team, and he is, to me, the MVP of the season right now.
Yeah, man, I really don't get the Derrick Henry used to slight Lamar Jackson. Like, yes, Derrick Henry does help the Ravens. Yes, he opens up things for Lamar, but so does Lamar for Derrick Henry. Like, come on, bro, you have to deal with Lamar as a running threat. What opens up a lot for Derrick Henry. It absolutely helps. They help each other, which is part of the team.
It's so a part of the game.
The other is just stupid. This is why I don't understand when they do that. Like, they don't have a James Cook or a Ty Johnson or a Ray Davis, which helps the team. I just don't understand it. I get your boy's been playing well. He has. Do not get me wrong. I get he has not turned the ball over for his standards. Yes, he's not leading the league in interceptions or turnovers. Congratulations. But just because his turnovers is down to his standard, don't mean it's better than Lamar having only 4 interceptions. Come on, bro. We've seen him at an MVP level throw for 36 touchdowns and 6 picks. And he's doing better than that. He's doing 39-4. How do you not? And one last thing I wanted to break up. Because people are like, which one is it? Is it record or is it stats? Please tell me who stood out last year. Nobody stood out last year. The one person that could have ran away with it was Brock Purdy. And when he played the Ravens, Dave, he looked
no. He looked bad. He threw 4 interceptions in that game. There's horrendous. no way you're gonna win. No way you're gonna win. No way you're gonna win MVP. You throw 4 interceptions in the game, especially on prime time against the best team in the AFC. You're not gonna win MVP that way.
Exactly. He did not look good when it mattered, and they could have also used that 3-game stretch in that same season. Also, do you like Dak had the numbers? He had a good record. He beat bad teams, and when he played good ones, he did not play that well. The only good team he beat was the Lions, and you can argue the Lions beat themselves because Dan Campbell was so gung-ho and going for 2 points. Okay, so scratch that. There was nobody else. Mahomes had a Mahomes season of this year, did not look good. Josh Allen was what? The 2nd seed, I believe.
Yeah, but he also led the league in turnovers, so
exactly.
You can't put him up there.
You can't give it to the guy who's leading the league in turnovers. Jalen Hurts, the Eagles totally collapsed. There was nobody that stood out. So Lamar got it for having the better head-to-head, winning against good teams. I think did we lose? I don't think we played the Chiefs that year. No, he was the number one. He was the number 1 seed in the NFL, not just the AFC, but the NFL. And he had that locked up before the last week. Of the season, and nobody stood out. So I had to go to Lamar. It's different. Yes, MVP does change from year to year depending on circumstances. Yes. Now, the only thing I would like to say is we need to get an MVP award, and then I guess that's what Offensive Player of the Year is for, the best offensive player that's not a quarterback, because MVP is definitely now just a quarterback award. But yes, Lamar is the MVP because of different circumstances this year than last year.
Man. That's the speaking facts, man. Speaking facts. So Lamar Jackson look like it's your award to lose. I mean, you did win it last year. So back-to-back MVP. We'll see. We will see. Now, Carl, it's that time. It's that time to pick the upset winner, or as I like to say, underdog winner for this week. This one wasn't easy for me. I looked at all the underdogs for this week, and I wanted to go with my team, but I don't believe it at all. I'm sorry. Sorry, San Francisco, but I'm sorry. I don't believe we can pull it off. The one game I'm looking at with the team that could possibly win this week is the Panthers over the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 8-point favorites in that game. Panthers are 4-11, Bucs are 8-7, and the Bucs are at home. But I like the way that the Panthers have been playing as of late, with Bryce Young there. I haven't picked a good winner yet, but for some reason I just really believe that this is their time. And the Bucks just lost the game against the Cowboys just this past week. So that's another team. That's a team that's eliminated. That's not in the playoffs. And now we got this. Now we got the Panthers right now, who are also looking to play spoiler. 4-11 on the season right now. Definitely not looking to do anything. And they have a good opportunity to go in there and have an upset win. I think Bryce Young has been, like I said, he's been playing well. The defense has been playing good as well. Chuba Hubbard has been running the ball well, and I think that the Panthers have a good opportunity to go in Tampa and win that game.
All right, so I think everybody that know me know who's my upset pick of the week. It's the Packers over the Vikings. One, because I needed it for my mother's Lions so they can lock up the 1 seed in the division. But secondly, I honestly do think the Packers can win that game in Minnesota. One, Minnesota has been squeezing out games. It's only but so long. We've learned that it's only but so long you can get away with that. Sometimes it's going to burn you. And I believe this is the time it's going to burn them. They have a run game with Josh Jacobs that's absolutely stupendous, as Arkansas is beating the crap out of Texas Tech, making me go down to 0-3 for the day. But yeah, they can absolutely run the ball in Minnesota. They have guys, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson can take the top off of a defense. Romeo Dobbs can work to short the intermediate. I do think the Packers can win that game. Plus, also, the Packers, really big at creating turnovers. Sam Darnold, he had a little slight, but he had a slight little window where he was turning the ball over. I think the Packers can force some turnovers out of Sam Darnold, and I think the Packers beat the Vikings.
All right, so I got the Panthers, and you got the Packers. PP loans.
As my bet is in shambles. Thank you, Texas Tech, for not playing defense for 3 straight drives. I just wish, man, I'm sorry, random tangent. I do a college football show, college basketball show. I just wish these college football teams would tell me, hey, Carl, we don't want to win today, so don't pick us. Because that's what it's been today.
It definitely seems like that. I'm sorry you just been having bad luck as of late, man. But yeah, let's hope they change that for you. All right, now we talk about Christmas. There's been a lot of talk about the NBA, supposed to own Christmas. NFL has taken over the last two years. And then LeBron James had a quote saying that, hey, Christmas belongs to the NBA. It's our day. Well, the ratings came out, and for the NBA, it actually went well. They actually doubled their ratings from last season on Christmas. Games were more watched than it was before. However, the NFL clearly won that with an average of 25.2 million watching those NFL games this past Wednesday. So, Carl, who owns Christmas now? Is it now the NFL, or does it still belong to the NBA?
It's the NFL. What do I always say? Football is king. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all had one of y'all best Christmases in a long time. And the NFL quite possibly had the worst Christmas of football games of all time. Well, it was only their second year. And they quadrupled some of y'all ratings. Almost, whatever 5 times is. I forgot what it is. Whatever 5 times is, they almost did that to y'all ratings. And these games were terrible. The Steelers, Chiefs, blowout. They had a good first half. It was slow. Second game wasn't even close. The refs tried to make it a game. Tried to give him a BS pass interference. Derrick Henry, that was, I don't know what he was doing, bro. You're not 5'11", 190. You're 6'3", 240. Run and take somebody's head off. But, yeah, these games were not good. And the ratings were not even close. And, some people call him LeCap James. He definitely capped. He definitely did. Because y'all weren't close, buddy. So, football is king. You can't put basketball against football. Football is going to win 99.9% of the time. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all need to work on your product. The style of play sucks. It is what it is. And one last thing before I pass it to you, Dave. It's hard to compete in America, at least, with a violent sport. Football is a violent sport. Basketball, you sneeze on somebody, it's a foul. You accidentally tap somebody, it's a foul. People not watching that. All that flopping and stuff, people not watching that. People want to see violence. They want to see excitement. They want to see big hits or at least some type of contact. Like, if I could dunk on you and, not yell at you in your face because that can excite a fight or something. But show some emotion, or I could play tough D and not get called for a foul, or you just yell, hey, and oh my, see, I had to get fouled, yell. Like, bro, if I could do that, or we even run plays and just don't run ISO pick and roll all game, then I might be able to watch it. That's why I watch college more than the NBA. But NBA is just unwatchable. So, no, you don't own Christmas. You have lost Christmas. You lost Christmas your first year NFL went against you, and you're going to continue to lose it. And you're definitely going to lose it once you retire. So, it's NFL's.
Absolutely. I don't disagree whatsoever. So, the total viewers for the NBA was 25.8 total million viewers. For the NFL was 48.4 million. So they totally dominated the viewership. And I don't know if you're tuning in now, I have my own show also called Dave's Doghouse. I talked about the NBA ratings in my last episode and how they've been plummeting, how they just haven't been good. And just like Carl said, the product is just not, it's not watchable anymore. There are teams now that are averaging 30 plus 3-point shots attempts per game, not made attempts. And most of these teams aren't really going anywhere. Now, the top three teams are three teams that have at least been in the NBA Finals within the last 5 years. You got the Celtics, the Mavericks, and the Warriors. The Warriors have always been a 3-point shooting team. That's how Steph has 4 championships. But they don't just shoot threes. It's just how the way that they run their offense. It's I want to say it's a newer version of the triangle offense, kind of sort of. It's not the exact same thing as the triangle offense, but it's like Steve Kerr put like some kind of his version of it, kind of sort of. It's not necessarily the
screens, passing cuts,
pretty much
knowing where you're going to be, getting to your spots, making sure getting there on time in timely fashion. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of timing.
Exactly, and then there's multiple players getting their hand on the ball to pass it to someone else. It's not someone standing in the corner and then you have someone ISO that drive the ball to the paint and then pass it and kick it out to whoever the shooter is. That's not necessarily what's going on with the Warriors, but the Celtics do it, the Mavericks do it, the Rockets do it. I could go down the line of all these other teams that do it, but most teams are not successful with this. This is not what we came to see. People thought just because the Warriors won the championship in 2015 and then beat them and then won again in 2017 and 2018, that's just the style of play it is going to be in the NBA, and that's what it takes to win. But other champions haven't necessarily done that. If you look at the Lakers when they won in the bubble, they weren't the best 3-point shooting team in the league, but they won a title. If you look at the Nuggets, they were a good team, but they weren't a high volume 3-point shooting team, but they won a championship. Now, if you look at the Bucks when they won the championship, they weren't a high volume 3-point shooting team, but they won a championship. It all depends on it. There's not a single identity for all teams in the NBA nowadays. Everyone just wants to play the same way, and that's not exactly what we want to see. When we looked at teams, we knew who the defensive teams were. If you look at the old Grizzlies, you knew when you go against the Grizzlies, you was going to have a tough out because you got Zach Randolph and those other guys that you got to go up against. It wasn't going to be an easy game. You go against the Lakers, then it's a triangle offense that you're going up against. You go against the Bulls when they had Tom Thibodeau and Luol Deng and Joe Camnoa and Derrick Rose. It was a tough out because you were somebody you might get dunked on by Derrick Rose, or you're going to be playing against a tough defense. You don't see that all the time now. The defense is not something that's an emphasis in the NBA anymore, and a lot of people don't want to see that. The mid-range shot is pretty much gone. It's pretty much non-existent unless you're Kawhi Leonard or DeMar DeRozan, who doesn't shoot threes for real at all, or Kevin Durant or LeBron. And even LeBron is shooting more threes.
My boy K use that midi.
Even LeBron is shooting more threes. You have to. The entirety of the game is not in it anymore. And then, hand checking has been pretty much been non-existent since 2006, I believe, 06, 07. That's when they pretty much stopped hand checking for it. So you can't do that. Like you said, you got the flopping that's going on. You got the threes, step back threes. You just no one is looking. There are people that will drive. You have an advantage of 3-1, and instead of you driving to the paint, you drive one to the paint, and there's two people at the 3-point line, and you kick it out to them for a 3. A 3 is not guaranteed to be made, but if at least if you drive the ball, you got a chance to go to the free throw line. That's the proper way to get more points, is to force the teams into foul trouble. You force the teams into foul trouble, that means their best players are not going to be on the floor, which means you get an advantage of taking advantage of that team. But now it's just everybody just want to jack up threes all the time. So and it's not watchable. It's not watchable. And shout out to Carl. He's been saying this for the last 3-4 years. He's been saying this for a while now. And you look at, and I'm a huge college sports fan. You look at college basketball, they at least play defense, and they're not jacking threes all the time. You don't see that. You see guys actually developing to play in the league. And the analytics of the game is another thing that's ruined it. So it's, for me, I would rather have watched that Bears game, because at least I know it's going to be some tackling going on in that game, than to watch an NBA regular season game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I probably
it depends on who's playing.
Both of those.
It depends on who's playing. But what I'm saying is, between the two, at least I know it's going to be some physicality in one, and you barely going to see it in the other one. Like you got some teams that are somewhat physical, like the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they're not even that physical, but they play good defense. You think about the Minnesota Timberwolves; they play good defense, but are they physical? Like what we used to see? You don't really have that in the league anymore. So that's why the NFL runs it right now, and they run it. They already have Thanksgiving, they already have Sunday, they got Thursday now, they got Monday.
Yeah,
now they got Christmas.
Minnesota don't really play defense, but you got some teams. The Rockets, they play defense. The Warriors, they play some defense. But this is my thing, right? I know a lot of people say the NFL is a copycat league. The NBA took that and went way too overboard with this copycat league thing, man. Yes, like you said, the Warriors had a blueprint. That was the Warriors' blueprint. Find your own blueprint and maximize your own blueprint to try to win a championship. They had like you said, the passing and cutting and things like that. They had the depth lineup with Draymond playing the small ball 5. They had all types of things. Use your own players, personnel, and find your own thing, your own niche, and maybe you might win a ring. So that's I think the NBA just took copycat league and just went way too far with that.
Yeah, they went way too far with it. They just figured, hey, if the Warriors can win, that means we all can win that way. And I guess they were afraid because they seemed to be winning all the championships during that time. But I mean, technically, LeBron is the one that went to the finals more. He didn't win all those championships, but he was in the finals for what, 9 straight seasons.
But you're not going to find generational talent like a Steph. You're not going to get another generational guy like a KD. You're not going to find another generational shooter like a Clay. Well, not Clay is for law, but he's definitely generational around that time. It's just a lot of pieces they got that meshed so well to what they built. And you're not going to find those pieces in every draft. So you got to use the personnel you got. So find your own thing. You got
to be like, I guess OKC, because OKC built everything through the draft and got a couple signings here and there. And now you got Chet, you got Jalen Williams, you got all these other guys on this team. You got SGA, of course. So you got guys on this team that's been there. I mean, SGA is the only one that wasn't there from the beginning because I believe he got traded from the Clippers, right?
Yeah, he was in a PG deal. So,
but everyone else was drafted there. So you got to be able to find your niche there. Then you'll have your glue guys like Andre Iguodala and stuff like that, or Sean Livingston. You got guys there that can help contribute, but you got to find your own identity. You can't be like everybody else. It's not going to work all the time. So now we got one last topic, and I'm going to have you start this one as well. We got 2 more topics left, and I'm going to have you start this one. You got some rumors happening in South Beach. Shams doubled down on it. Then Jimmy Butler's agent denied it. Then you got Pat Riley coming out on Christmas saying that, hey, nope, we're not trading Jimmy Butler. Then Jimmy Butler was supposed to join the team tonight to play in the game and then be there tomorrow as well to play against the Hawks, and he's not there. Carl, what do you think is up with Jimmy Butler, these Jimmy Butler rumors, and what do you think is going to happen with Jimmy? You think he stays or you think he's gone?
This season, nothing's gonna happen. This ain't the first year. Didn't this happen last year and nothing happened? I don't think nothing of it. It's just another year. We have Jimmy Butler wanting to leave, rumors, and then nothing's going to happen. He's going to possibly, if he doesn't get hurt and if the team stay healthy, may lead them into a deep playoff run, and it all goes away. Nothing's happening. It's not that deep for me. If this was the first year, maybe you might have got me, but no. And then you have Pat Riley coming out and saying he's not going nowhere. You have why am I blanking on you? Eric Spoelstra coming out and saying we want him here, point blank, period. So, yeah, he's going nowhere. I believe none of this, especially when you say it's like conflicting things. But, hey, as the Pistons fan of me, you know I can't wait till he leaves so I can start trolling y'all. I got a soft spot in my heart for Miami only because of Jimmy Butler. I don't like Miami, but Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players in the league. He's been one of my favorite players for a long time. I feel like he don't get a lot of the credit that he deserves, especially for for guys saying he's not a superstar. For him to not be as good as a lot of people think or say he is and to lead Heat team to 2 finals appearances. No, he didn't win them, but that's still an accomplishment of itself, in my opinion. But yeah, these rumors mean nothing to me.
Yeah, it was the same thing for me. Basically meant nothing to me as well. Because, like I said, this rumor has been going on since last season. Last season, they were talking about Jimmy Butler might be gone. They were saying that he might get traded. They were saying in the offseason that he might get traded. But Pat Riley sticks to his guns most of the time. When he say he's not going to do something, he ain't going to do it. That's pretty much what it is. If he say he's not going for somebody, believe him. He's not about to get traded for nobody. If he's saying he's not signing someone, that means he's not doing it. If he say he ain't trading for nobody or he ain't trading nobody away, he's not doing it. That's just what he means. That's just who he is. That's just the way that Pat Riley rolls. And Pat Riley has a lot to do with this situation as well, because Pat Riley also is the reason why Jimmy Butler hasn't had the help that he needed to be able to get over the hump and win those championships, because Jimmy Butler has been the only star for real on this team, even though you have Bam, who's been an all-star. He's been, in the defensive player of the year conversations as well. And you have all of that going for him, but you get to 2 finals and Jimmy Butler's pretty much all you got. No one else is really doing anything to help out. You have Tyler Hero, who has been in and out and injured. And the first time in the bubble, Bam and Dragic go out in injury. And then season after season, we hear rumors about KD possibly coming here. Possibly, you might want to go get Kyrie. You might want to get James Harden. You got all these other guys, Brad Beal. You got all these other guys in the conversation of who we might go get. And who do you trade for? You go get Kyle Lowry. Okay, that's something, but it's not enough. You go get PJ Tucker. Okay, good. We become the number 1 seed, but then we lose in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then you go get Terry Rozier last year. He started to get hot at the end of the season. Then he was hurt, and now he's playing like he's a certified 6th or 7th man, and barely even that. So, I'm not sure what it is when it comes to Pat Riley right now, or the GM that we have, or why they're not making the moves to put us in position to win championships. But it's just not happening. You heard the Dame Lillard debacle last year. Didn't get Dame, so that happened. So I'm just not sure. But I do have someone that I also want to bring up who has his own podcast, Miami Heat Zone, Martell. I'm gonna have you come up, and I want to hear your thoughts on the Jimmy Butler trade rumor. So, Martell, if you're there, my guy.
Yo,
What's going on, man?
listen, like at the end of the day, man, they got to pick a direction. I think, they don't want to pay Jimmy Butler, and that's really what it comes down to. I think they could have done a better job of building around Jimmy Butler, but then at the same time, he wanted out of shape and overweight, eating burgers and shakes Kyle Lowry. He wanted Kyle Lowry. They did not want Kyle Lowry. And think about it, that $90 million handicapped us. But then at the same time, I got to blame Pat because he should have moved Kyle Lowry maybe after the second year. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to pivot. I think that this whole Godfather thing is getting played out because think about it. What has he really done since Jimmy Butler's been there? He's been relying on this Godfather and throwing the rings on the table. That gets played out after a while. It's about championships. It's about building rosters. And you're telling me that Jimmy and Bam have been pretty much leading you to the NBA Finals. Putting in all this work, and we haven't really made significant moves due to lack of assets because they didn't manage it right.
Yeah, that's kind of sort of the same way I felt. More so, the $90 million that we gave to Duncan Robinson. That to me, that at that time
ridiculous.
that was a terrible contract at that time. Love Duncan Robinson. Don't get me wrong, but at that time, yes, he played well, but did he play well enough for a $90 million contract? No. And that's to me, it's almost the same thing when it came to I think his name was Tyler Johnson. When we had Tyler Johnson on the team, and then he got there was I guess it was a way for us to match his contract that he got from the Nets, and we was like, nah, you can have him, and look what happened. He pretty much didn't do anything else after he left us, and we was like, yeah, I mean that would have been more of a move I would have been accepted. If we lost him, then okay, but I'm not to give him $90 million. And yes, he's improved his game. He's become a lot better as far as the way he plays, as far as being able to drive the ball, and he's become more consistent with the three. But a $90 million contract, that hurt us. And then not to get all these other guys that we needed. Like I said, I talked about Kevin Durant. I didn't even mention LaMarcus Aldridge. That was another guy we were supposed to get during that time, and that didn't happen. And it's just because of those conversations that they either had with Pat and stuff that he said to them. I think when he told LaMarcus Aldridge was go somewhere else for a year and then come sign here. Like that, what kind of advice is that? To have him go somewhere else and then come to Miami? Why not give him the opportunity to play now? Why would you have him wait another season and go somewhere else? That to me, that just didn't make sense.
Yeah, but they're not going to pay him, and if you're not going to pay him, trade him. You know what I mean? Because think about it, Jimmy's on pace to play less than 65 games. Had already said he wants him to play more games. If he's not going to play the games, move him. It sucks that we didn't win a championship. It is what it is. Go get me De'Aaron Fox so that we can move into the future.
Yep, we gotta do something, man. Gotta do something. And then you got the thing that's going on with the Kings and Mike Brown. So Fox might be available.
Is gone, my man. No, he is gone. Listen, when him and Rich Paul go to the franchise and say, "Yo, what is this franchise doing? How come we can't win games?" They're 12th in the West. When you're 12th in the West, good luck climbing through the West is too strong for them to climb from the 12th seed all the way up, at least to the 6th or the 5th seed. You know what I mean? They didn't make the playoffs last year, and then the year before, what were they playing or no? I think they were playing the year before that.
Nah, the year before
they played the Golden State Warriors.
Year before last year, they were the 3 seed. Last year,
huge drop off.
Yeah, but that's what they have to deal with. But all right, Martell, appreciate you for coming on, my man. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the Jimmy Butler thing.
Yeah, man, trade Jimmy, bro. The run is probably over. The team needs to pick a direction. If they know they're not going to pay him, trade him. It makes no sense.
Hey, I don't disagree. It's either keep him, pay him, or get what you can for him.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Make sure y'all tune into Miami Heat Zone. That's his channel. I've been on there before. They talk all Miami Heat, so go tune in, man. He just had 2 episodes with Ticket, so go check it out.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one. All right, Carl, we're down to the very last one, and I believe Joe will be coming on in a few to talk about the news that was breaking today. Mike Brown, who was the coach of the year, the 2022-2023 season for the Sacramento Kings, getting them all the way to the 3 seed in the Western Conference. He has now been fired by the Sacramento Kings, and Doug Christie is now the interim head coach for the Sacramento Kings. This comes after the Kings are on a 5-game losing streak and losing 12 of the last 17 and losing the most clutch games this season and losing 13 clutch games this season. So, Carl, what did you think? I know when I posted the news, when I found out about it, I was shocked. How did you feel when you heard about this?
Shocked. Came out of left field for me. I get it. They're 13 and 18 right now. You got DeMar DeRozan. You expected probably better, but it's a work in progress. It's a trade that happened this year. It was going to take some time. I don't get how a guy could win Coach of the Year, not even 2 full seasons ago, not even a season and a half ago. It's been like, well, maybe about a half because 13, 18 with 31 games, half of that, I have 82. So I'll just give you a season and a half just to be technical. I mean, not just so I won't be technical, excuse me. But you just won Coach of the Year. You just broke a 16-year playoff drought. Then, okay, next year you were playing team. You win the first round by blowout against the Warriors. But you lose, I believe, in blowout fashion to the Pelicans. If not blowout, it was close. I can't remember. But they lose to the Pelicans, not beating the Pelicans once. Cool. I get that. But how do you not get grace? How do you not get grace for all that you have done for this franchise? Your franchise was, I don't want to say nothing, but I'm going to say nothing. Before Mike Brown came and turned it around in 1 year.
They haven't done anything in 17 years before he got there.
Yeah, you broke the playoff drought, but then you turn around and don't give him any grace for a bad season. It's crazy to me. I'm shocked. And this is why franchises don't sustain or don't build greatness over time. It's this microwave, instant gratification or instant satisfaction thing. We don't want to work. We want it done right away. If you can't give it to me like this, you're gone. We'll bring somebody else in. And now you're turning to Doug Christie. I don't know how good he is as a coach. I won't say we'll find out because I don't think you can really find out this fast. But to me, this was just straight up blasphemous. I didn't get it at all.
I didn't understand it either. But let's hear from the Kings fan himself, Mr. Arthur himself, Joe Jordan. What up, Joe?
What up, Dave? What up, Carl? Carl left on me?
I'm not sure. Something might have happened to his laptop. Let me just do this.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Get it. Oh, you want me to jump in? Okay, cool.
Yeah, do your thing. How you feel about your coach being gone now, man?
Man, first of all, glad to be on Arthur Well, man. It's been my availability on Tuesdays and Friday has been crazy. So I'm glad we do an hour and a half show now. I'm able to come on the back end. I literally just walked in the house. Actually, I still got, hat on all that stuff. But gotta represent for at least one winning team I represent. But Dave, this hit me off guard, dog. And I'm inside the Kings organization. I know what's going on. I feel like I can anticipate things. This got me off guard. It really did. I did not expect this. And I kind of don't understand only one reason. It's the urgency of the whole Fox situation. Now, ironically, shout out to Carl. Oh, I see what you did.
Same thing he did to me.
Ironic that the firing happened after a loss to the Detroit Pistons. So shout out to you, Carl. And also, ironically, there's been trade rumors with De'Aaron Fox. And I said before the year, the Kings aren't going to trade De'Aaron Fox. The reason why De'Aaron Fox didn't sign his contract was because he wants the super max. He didn't make All NBA last year, so he doesn't qualify for the super max. Then that's what he's looking for. Now, getting DeRozan, he was excited. The team felt pressure to do something because we haven't made a significant move since Fox been there. I mean, since Mike Brown been there, since we've been winning. Who do we got Sabonis, obviously, but when Mike Brown got there and we became the number 3 seed and we fell back to the 9th seed last year, we always in these talks, but never made a move. And we finally made a move and got DeRozan. He was excited about that. And then we get to this terrible start. And you know what's crazy? I saw you read some of the stats, like the clutch stats. A lot of our games are close. We top 5 in offensive rating. We top 15 in defense. I mean, we're top 3 in field goal percentage. We're you look at the numbers, you're oh, this is a good team. But the results aren't there. And a lot of it is the 3-point shooting. But De'Aaron Fox, this is ironic too. First half, only had 1 point. First half. Second half, he comes out, be a little more aggressive. And guess who was the one who fouled Jaden Ivey on the 3? De'Aaron Fox. And I don't know if y'all know this. Mike Brown, in his press conference, he said something like there's no reason he should have done that, actually. He called out Fox. And then the next day, he's fired. That's like a coincidence, right? That's a big coincidence. And what's sad about the whole situation is his press conference after after or before practice. They asked him, it was like, how you feel about the pressure that's gonna come with this losing streak, right? You losing 12 of your last 17 games, you're on a 5-game losing streak. He's like, listen, you know who's in tough times, you know who's in the foxhole, who know who's not. We know the people in the organization, we got each other back. It's my job. Like, he basically praised the whole organization, how they, all in this together. And then he probably go on the flight to LA, and they're like, nah, buddy, you ain't got no seat on the flight. You gotta stay home. And they promote Doug Christie, who I like. If y'all watch Refuse to Lose before we hire Mike Brown, I vouched for Doug Christie. I thought Doug Christie should have been the head coach. He became the interim head coach when we fired the last guy we had, Luke Walton. He became interim head coach, and he said, I got some unfinished business here. When he said, I was like, you sure do. I like that, but they brought in Mike Brown, he changed the whole organization. So I'm shocked. I didn't like the move for real. I thought it was a panic attack, but obviously him and Fox must have not got along anymore. And it's crazy because after we made the playoffs, him and Fox did an interview with his wife, with Deuce and Mo. It's a show that for Kings podcasters, and they love Mike Brown. Oh, he's a military type guy. He's hard on us, and we like that. All good stuff about Mike Brown. But I don't want to rap too much. But there are a few things I don't like about Mike Brown. Number one, I didn't like how he took Davion Mitchell off Steph Curry in Game 7 in the NBA playoffs. Davion Mitchell did an awesome job on Steph Curry, and then he had what's his name? Terrence Davis on Steph Curry, and that's Game 7, and Steph Curry dropped 50. So that's number one. I said this to AJ on Unfazed backstage. He don't know what to do with Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis comes in last year, defensive guy. Y'all saw we did Steph Curry in the play-in. That's what Keon Ellis is. And on top of that, Keon Ellis is one of our best three-point shooters. He shooting over 40% from three, and we're struggling from three, and he's not getting minutes consistently. We're like, what's going on? And then y'all know how I feel about Sasha. Sasha barely played. Minutes inconsistent. Or shout out to Trent. Trent couldn't understand that at all either. So his rotations sometimes it'd be like, okay, like, what are you doing, Mike Brown? I don't know, what is he doing? I know he's searching for defense, but Keon's a defender. Keon also 3-point shooter. Like, what's the excuse? Well, Malik Monk getting started minutes now, it's going to take away Keon. Malik was getting started minutes off the bench. He just didn't start, but he's still getting started minutes. Mm-hmm. So that's the only problem I have with Mike Brown, sometimes in substitution, but he changed the whole franchise. And sad day in Sacramento. I don't know what's next. Fox might just leave. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. Honestly, when I heard the news, I said Fox might be gone now. He just might be gone. I guess that's my first time hearing that. I didn't know that he called out Fox after that game. I didn't know.
Yeah, he said something earlier. Fox got it. He's the second time he said something about Fox. He said Fox, and he's not lying.
Nah. It's not like he's saying it's not like he called him dumb or anything like that. He was just like, man, that's a bad decision. You can't do that.
He said you don't close out in that situation. You don't close out in a 3-point shooting in that situation. You're up by 3 with less than 5 seconds left. Don't close out that hard because you might foul him. That's what he basically saying. Huh?
Yeah, Jaden Ivey too. I can see if it was like Malik Beasley or Simone Fontecchio or who else we got? Tim Hardaway. But yeah, Jaden Ivey, I'm living and dying with that.
Or he's saying with anybody because he said worst case scenario.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying it makes it worse. The person he did it to. But
yeah. Go ahead, Carl.
But I was just about to say, if you think the relationship between Mike Brown and De'Aaron Fox might have like shattered, do you think this was a move to keep De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento?
I mean, it's a players' league, so. And Fox been here before Mike Brown too, so they gonna keep Fox. I would keep Fox too. I feel like you can always replace a coach, but a player, it's tough to replace. Somebody in Fox, but Fox got to step up too though. Like Mike Brown said that, he said Fox got to step up. You know what I mean? He said that throughout the season. Like, he our best player. I mean, like, I don't know who fired him. I don't know if it was the GM, who I love, Monty McNair.
or the ownership?
Or the owner. If the owner stepped in, that's terrible. If the owner stepped in and did that, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I can't confirm it, but from what I was hearing, from what I saw, from my sources, it seems like it was an ownership thing, but I don't know. I can't confirm it.
See, I haven't read anything. Everything I'm telling y'all is off of me. I ain't even watched nothing yet.
I'm not sure who made the decision or anything, but I was certainly shocked when I saw the news because out of anything, I was not expecting Mike Brown to be the one to be fired right now. I wasn't expecting any coach to be fired right now, especially
you first.
I know. I text you. Once I found out, I just had to text you. I said, "Hey, y'all just fired Mike Brown."
I was like, "What?" I went on Twitter. I was like, "Hold up, we fired Mike Brown."
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy, and I mean, another thing I don't understand is you see that you were just a 3 seed 2 seasons ago, and that was from not making the playoffs in 17 straight seasons. So 17 years before he get there, you don't make the playoffs. And the first time you make the playoffs, you're a 3 seed. And you take the Warriors to game 7. Yes, you don't win it, but it's the Warriors. Like, come on. This is a team that has had multiple playoff experiences, and they got Andrew Wiggins, who's been in the playoffs before. You still got Draymond, you still got Clay, and you still got Steph. So it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee that you're going to be able to win that series. Yes, I mean, you would think so because you're the higher seed, but we all know that's not guaranteed in the NBA. Just because you're the higher seed doesn't mean you're going to win that. I mean, Miami Heat, 8th seed, beat number 1 seed, Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, it's happened before. We've seen stuff like this happen to where a lower seed beats the top seed. But you look at the talent that's on this team as well. I mean, Joe, you've been saying it yourself. You think you guys need another big man besides Sabonis, and you don't have that. What you got is Keegan Murray, and Keegan Murray is a good player. Don't get me wrong, but he ain't the big man that you need to put beside Sabonis because you're saying that Sabonis needs some help down there. He don't have that help. What you went and did was go and get DeMar DeRozan, fine player, but that wasn't nothing to move the needle. It wasn't nothing to put you guys over the hump, to put you guys back in the playoff contention. It was just to put another scorer on the team, and then he's not helping out anything that you need help with because you need help with 3-point shooting. DeMar DeRozan is known to not be a 3-point shooter, so that's not going to help your team out when you're hurting in that area. Now you're still dependent on everyone else. You got, like you said, you got Keon Aldridge on the team, but you're not using him. You got Fox on the team. That's, but is he one of the best 3-point shooters in the league? Yes, he can make the 3, but he's not one of the top 3-point shooters in the league. Let's just be honest about that. Keegan gotta step up some more. Gotta play a little bit better. Then you got Malik Monk. We know what Malik Monk can do, but when you look at the Kings, you don't look at them and say, hey, they got some really good 3-point shooters on that team. They don't have that. They don't have that consistency right now. And as ownership and as management, you didn't put the right amount of talent on this team to allow Mike Brown to show you that he can win with the talent around him. He showed you that he could get them to a 3 seed. He showed you that already. But everything had to go right for them to win that series. That's not a formula to win for everything to go right. That just means that you got to hope that this happens and this happens. You got to hope that this player don't play well. You got to hope that maybe this person fouls out. Like it's too many. You're not dependent on your players to just go out there and play their game for you to win. It's dependent on too many other factors. So not having the talent around them, not getting the players that you needed to solve the issues that you have in the team as far as the 3-point shooting and having enough big man, that doesn't help Mike Brown either. So I'm still shocked that this actually happened to Mike Brown.
Yeah, I mean, I do think we do have 3-point shooters. Like people just like shooting career low. Like Keegan Murray is not shooting well this year. Kevin Huerter, he's starting to pick it up this year. He's starting to pick it up, but he started off bad. You know what I mean? Like, and those two are our best 3-point shooters, and they shooting poorly. Even De'Aaron Fox, up to 3-point shooting last year, it's like 30-some%. His went down. DeRozan really don't shoot that many threes, but I mean, I don't know, man, because like I said, we are a lot of these games are close that we are losing. Like I remember Carl was in the chat, man, this Denver Nuggets and Kings game, and then we just fumbled the ball at the end of the game, like, and then we got 2 of the closest players in the NBA, DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
So DeRozan ended up fumbling, and Fox fumbled yesterday. on defense. On offense, he hit the three to jumper to go up by 3 though. But come on, man, it's just like I don't know if he lost a voice in the team. I mean, lost a log. I don't know what it is, but more news will come out, and your boy will be on top of that.
Yeah, and then I'll be on top of it too. I'll make sure that whatever news I get, I'll put out there.
That's how you know things are going bad. We lost to Lakers 3 times. 0-3 against the Lakers this year. After sweeping them last year.
Can't relate.
Yeah, I can't relate either. 3 swept them last year and then beat them by 41 this year. So I ain't too worried about the Lakers.
Swept them this year. Got them
right. Hey, Detroit, man. I saw a Twitter post. It was posting Cade number. They said free him. I'm like, don't even free him. They
14 and 17.
He just got a contract.
I'm like, they on the rise. Like, they on the rise. They good.
Yeah. And shout out to Carl. The coaching was a difference. JB Bickerstaff came in.
Y'all called me crazy for not wearing Monty Williams.
I still
but some people.
You're right though.
I still got my thing to say about Monty, but
the roster's better too though.
Yeah, that's true, but think about it. We won 14 games. And this is already the most we're tied for last year. I understand the roster is better, but 14 games is despicable.
Cade is balling.
He is, man. Cade is definitely balling.
What you predicted Cade would be last year? This is him this year.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was just a year behind.
He probably even better though. He's don't assist high.
Man, his shooting was really.
It's not even just his shooting, his playmaking too.
His assist, yeah, and he rebound,
It's he turnovers, man. Just gotta get the turnovers down. Keep them down. Keep these turnovers down. That's it, my boy.
Hey, but he been balling though. But that's our show today. Unless Joe got more to say about the Kings.
Move on.
We talked about everything. I hope y'all enjoyed. Joe, what's your upset pick? I know you went here for that topic. What's your upset pick for this week?
Oh, no, I didn't even. Oh, you know what? Oh, my phone is there. I made all my picks already for the week. I did pick the Bears to beat the Seahawks. That almost happened, but
I was with you on that. I did agree with you. Yeah, I was with you on that.
Okay, and I don't know what's up with ESPN. I'm trying to pull up the schedule, but it's not working. Can you just call out some of the upsets for me?
I got you. I'm on FanDuel. I got you.
You got. I picked the Panthers over the Bucks. That's a 8-point swing.
I think I picked the Bucks. Yeah.
Pats Chargers. Pats are the underdog. Broncos Bengals. Broncos are the underdog.
Cowboys
Cardinals
Eagles.
Rams. Cardinals is the underdog.
Ooh, I think I picked the Cardinals to beat the Rams.
I think you did do that too. I think you did pick that.
Yeah.
And then we got just to help you out. Saints Raiders. Saints are the underdogs. Jets, Bills, Jets on the underdog. Do your thing, New York. Browns, Dolphins. Browns are the underdog.
I picked the Browns too.
Yeah, I picked the Packers over the Vikings. Falcons, Commanders. Nah, I'm messing with you.
Are we underdogs? I'm picking up. We got home Sunday night football. Let's go.
And then 49ers, Lions is the 49ers underdogs.
I saw a stat. Rookies playing their first primetime night game are 2-14. You got that?
It's not his first though, unless you mean at home.
I saw Michael Penix. But
yeah.
Come on, Jaden too. He part of the two.
I'm about to say because that's why I'm like, Jaden won. That's why I ain't even think about Michael Penix.
There you go. Tulsa greatest rookie all time.
Hey, 2-14. He part of the two. I wonder who the other one. RG3 is the other one. I think he beat Dallas.
I don't know if that's his first one though.
Probably wasn't his first one. I think it was probably. I don't know. Probably wasn't.
Maybe. It wasn't my dog. My dog, I don't think he played a primetime game his rookie year. No, he did. He played the Chargers and beat them, but I don't know if that was his first one.
Oh, okay. Dang,
might have been.
He probably. I gotta look at. I'm gonna find out and put in the chat. I gotta see the other two. But I heard that stat today. I was like, dang.
It might be Lamar and Jaden.
Might be.
That'd be tough.
Would be. But yeah, that's our show today, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate Martell for coming on and talk about the Miami Heat. Jimmy
I
Butler,
go first. Last word.
Huh?
I go first on last words.
Yes, you do. So Joe, last words.
Yo, shout out to the whole R2 network. Shout out to the whole R2 family. CTC, great episode this morning. And it's a new year coming up. Make sure everybody got what they got planned, written down for the new year. if you didn't start in October, you kind of late, but it's never too late because New Year still ain't here. So get the ball rolling right now.
I'm sorry. College football.
Oh, I'm like, what was that? You playing a flu over there? But shout out to my man JD5. As long as I got JD5, I'm alive. I got 5 on it. But shout out to him. Now we got the Falcons this weekend, Sunday Night Football. Make sure y'all tune in. Grab your popcorn. It's gonna be a good show. Sacramento, man, Mike Brown. Ooh, it's a sad day. I know Trent happy. I think Trent wasn't a big Mike Brown fan, So I gotta talk to my boy after this show. Texas, come on, man. Let's get it. Let's get this dub. Let's get this dub. And Wake Forest. I haven't really been paying attention a lot to Wake Forest. I'm not gonna lie, I gotta be honest. Carl can update me on that one. I think we got 3 losses of the year, right?
Y'all beat Michigan, so y'all cool with me.
All right, and that's all I got, man. Let's get it. Shout out to everybody that tuned in also.
Go ahead, Carl.
All right, so first of all, appreciate y'all for having me on the show. CTC is a college football show, college basketball show. I can't give you no times, can't give you no dates because I don't be having them. I just get them done, and when I'm live, I'm live. So if you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so you can know when I go live. But man, college football has been brutal for me today. Now, granted, I have a 13-6 bowl record. So you're like, Carl, why are you so pissed? Because it shouldn't be 13-6. I'm absolutely fuming. Like, I should not be mad. I'm telling myself, like, Carl, you shouldn't be this mad. But I'm absolutely pissed off that I'm 13-6. So, but Texas Tech they're trying to fight back. But shout out the Ravens. They did what I said on the show. I told Steelers fans since week 8, since we lost to the Browns. Y'all are going to slip up. And when y'all slip up, we're going to catch y'all. And part of that is going to be beating y'all. And so, and we did it. We just got to beat the Browns Sunday, and the prophecy has been fulfilled. Shout out my Pistons. Some people thought I was crazy saying we win 30 to 35 games. I don't look so crazy no more. My youngest brother, he said the over under at 26 and a half. I said, take the over. Give me the over. We bet, I think, like 100 push-ups. So he about to owe me some push-ups. There's definitely drama in Pittsburgh. I don't know why he said don't let the media fool me. I mean, is it the media or is it the players? I'm confused. But last but certainly not least, shout out Michigan State, man, 10-2. And shout out South Carolina, 9-3. My 2 schools balling. South Carolina football. We got Illinois next Tuesday in the Cheez-It Bowl. Let's get a W. And that's it. That's all my teams covered. So
you had a good week, Carl, in sports.
Man, I'm on a crazy sports run. The Ravens have been going crazy. The Pistons swept the Lakers. I'm on a crazy sports
last night on a game winner.
Yeah, I'm on a crazy sports run. If the Pistons win and lost to the Jazz, that'd be like 4 straight or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 5 straight. Something crazy.
Hey.
Yeah, it'd be 5 straight because we beat the Knicks, then we lost to the Jazz, and then we beat the Lakers and the Kings. And there was something else. I forgot. But yeah, it'd be 5 straight.
It's all good. It's all good.
And we beat Miami in overtime. Let's
oh my God.
They like, okay, it's all good. It's good. They try to
go crazy against the chat.
I tried to make sure he forgot that.
I didn't beat Javon yet, but that's coming up. We're gonna beat the Magic. We beat Ty by 24.
We finally got a dub against them.
Checking it right. Checking out.
Oh yeah, I'm checking. We beat the Sixers. Shout out my J-Mo, you my dog. We got you. Dang. We just got to check off the Magic and the Bucks fan. But for me personally, the Pistons have to check. I'm tired of losing to the Bucks. We got to check off the Bucks
and the Celtics.
And the Celtics. Oh yes, please. Oh my God, let's beat the Celtics.
For me, Miami Heat, just do something. I don't know what you're gonna do with Jimmy. Pay the man, or just trade him. Just do something. Do something about that. Shout out to Tyler Hero for hitting the game winner last night. So shout out to Tyler Hero. He's been balling. I think my guy deserves to be in the All-Star game this year. So give my guy some opportunity because he's been the most consistent player and the best scorer on the team this year. So, and he's been the most clutch player on the team as well. So give my guy opportunity to be in the All-Star game. ACC and football has not won a bowl game yet this season. That will change tomorrow when we play against Iowa State. Okay? Cam Ward. Zombieland has to be alive tomorrow. has to be alive tomorrow. We got to win that game. We can't lose another ball game after we done already lost our opportunity to be in the ACC championship game. So come on, we got to get it done. Yeah, you call us trash all we want. We beat y'all yesterday in your house, so that's what matters. San Francisco, I ain't got much to say to you. Season's over. Thank you, Kyle Shanahan, though, for not allowing Dre Greenlaw to play in the last 2 games. Thank you. Allow him to sit and get healthy for the rest of the season. I appreciate you doing that. And give the man a contract. Give him not a 1-year contract. Sign the man to a multi-year contract because he deserves it. You see the difference that he makes when he showed up in that first game he came back. The defense played a lot better with him and Talanoa Hufanga on that defense. So those 2 guys need to be on the team next year. Everyone else, you can think about what you're going to do as far as the debt, because the debt needs to improve. Because this year showed you that our debt is not as good as it has been in years past. All those guys that we had that made difference for us, whether it was Quan Alexander or Jimmy Ward, all the guys that we lost that were debt pieces or starters on this team, we don't have that anymore. Go do something this offseason to make sure we have enough debt pieces. Don't sign a Devondre Campbell type person who's going to be upset when Dre Greenlaw come back and then he don't want to play. Don't do that again. And just make a difference next season. Get an offensive line to protect Purdy. Don't think that Colt McKivitz is the answer on this offensive line. He sucks. I'm saying this every time I come on here and talk about the Niners. He is one of the worst offensive linemen in the league. I don't care when people say he hasn't allowed many sacks, and I don't care about the sacks. Look at his pressures. He's one of the worst linemen in the league giving up pressures this season. He is terrible. The only offensive lineman we have that we need to keep is Trent Williams and Dominique Puny, who was the rookie that we got out of Kansas this year. He's been phenomenal at guard this year. Other than those 2 guys, do something for this offensive line. Even the center, Jake Brindle, is not good. So we need to do something for the offensive line. The offensive line has been an issue since you've been here, Kyle Shanahan. So fix it. Defensive line is not what it used to be. Fix it. Okay? Bosa, we can't just win it with just Bosa on the defensive line. We need other pieces. So do what you need to do to improve this defense. And please, if you have the opportunity to bring back Robert Saleh, you better do it. Because Nick Sorensen is not the answer. I'm sorry. Do what you got to do, and we'll see what happens next year.
On fire. My comments.
He about to burn himself up. I don't care what he's saying right now. Mike Tomlin on a 3-game losing streak. I don't want to hear nothing about Mike Tomlin right now. So, let's go ahead and,
I got you, Dave.
Get these dubs, and thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time.
Shout out Tyler Hero breaking the game when it gets the Pistons.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.